Mic check, 1 2 1 2. The Knowledge Drop podcast episode number 2 is on. This is focused from the FLOMO crew, BBoyDojo.com and Cypher Studio. Thank you for tuning in. First episode got great feedback. We had Scheme Riches over here and got some good comments and good feedback. So I'm excited for this episode today. Let's keep it moving and let's keep it rocking. The next guest for the Knowledge Drop is FLOMASTER, all the way from the west coast of USA. One of the funkiest b-boys out there of all times. And what can I say about Flo? Super versatile dancer, also a coach, also a trainer, and an influential teacher. He's trained big artists in the game, most likely some of your favorite artists he's been training in the past, and naturally battled the best and beat the best in breaking. So let's get FLOMASTER on the line and let's see what comes up in the episode number 2.
Focus is in the house.
FLOMASTER is in the house.
What's up, baby?
Good morning, your ways. How's it going over there?
Man, everything's going good over here. How's everything going over there? How was training?
Training was great. I just came back from the session and still a little bit sweaty, to be honest. Changed my shirt, had a crew session earlier with the crew, and everybody said hi, said respect and greetings. Taya, Vortex, Sparks, Saki, when everybody was there. So it was still getting busy.
Okay, well, tell everybody I said, what's up?
Will do. How about yourself? Did you train today?
I'm about to train right after I get off of this. The minute I get off this, I'm going straight to, I'm like, pew!
Through that. What's happening today? What's in the menu?
The menu is strength training, because as you get older, you got to make sure you keep your body strong. And that's something that as a b-boy, we was never taught that. And I learned that the hard way.
Yes, indeed. So I can definitely co-sign that one. Been there, done that, and approaching 40. I'm a little bit younger than you, but still approaching 40 this year. And I know I just can't break the whole day and go to jams, battle everybody cold without warm-up and come back to training on the next day. That's simply not the way it works when you're in your 40s.
Well, that's not the typical way that it's supposed to work, even if you're in your 20s and 30s. And, you learn when you're in your 20s and 30s, which we didn't learn. So when we get to our 40s, we already have it down. But it takes us to get injured and get hurt so much, and we can't do what we used to do anymore, to realize, wait a minute, I've been training wrong. I've been doing this incorrect for so many years.
Yep. But at the same time, we're still moving, and you're a big inspiration for everybody, keeping in great shape and still super funky as usual. So thank you, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. First time I think I saw you live was B-Boy Summit X 2004. Okay. And first time we traveled to the States with the crew, and I catch you in the ciphers, and that was an ill edition over there. Had Kenny, had Wicked, K-Mel, and everybody else over there killing it. Any memories from the summit that year? I know you rocked many summits before, but how was 2004 for you?
It was incredible. The memories that I remember is how we just used to have fun, how it was just straight raw. Everybody had their own identity, their own flavor, their own style, and then I guess when YouTube and the internet and all that came out, all that went away. So I just really, the thing that really sticks out to me the most is how everybody had their own flavor. Like you could put somebody behind a screen and you can't see their face, but when they start dancing, you're like, oh, that's Remind. Oh, that's Ken Swift. Oh, that's FLOMASTER. Oh, that's Focus. Now you put people behind the screen, you be like, oh man, who is that? Oh, that's Sugar Kicks. And be like, no, that's Hong 10.
That's the new trendy style that everybody's doing, but
yes,
don't really recognize the character.
So I just think now people's jumping on the hype of whatever's the biggest thing now, everybody wants to do. When I came up, it was like, whatever was hype, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to find something to beat that hypeness. It has changed.
That year. Yeah, remember that year. Even though, like you speaking about the silhouette, but if you saw FLOMASTER on the side of the circle, without dancing, you recognize it too, because you went next level in the print game too. So you had your sweatpants, the whole line was like a FLOMASTER Footwear Fanatics print over there, and the shirt on top, caps, all of that stuff. So I think nobody took it to that height as you did that year. So.
Well, you remember hip hop has 4 elements, but I really feel that it should be 5. And the one that they're missing out in the hip hop element is the fashion. The fashion is everything. So I made sure, you know, when Kenny and Crazy Legs was training me, they was like, listen, you could be dope in a circle, but you got to make sure you have a nice outfit on when you step out there in that circle. It just makes it come alive. And that always stuck with me. So every time I go to a jam, I made sure that I'm looking fresh. So when you see me roast you, or I get roasted, one of the two, you're gonna be like, yo, that was a nice outfit he had on.
Oh, make it even more painful. Doing it while looking fresh, right?
Yes. 100%.
And I do have the proof. I have a VHS of friend's camera from that trip. So I was trying to look it up, but you know, you had to convert your tapes. It takes a little time. So once I get the footage from the ciphers, I'll send it to you later on.
Oh, my man. Thank you. Oh, that would be perfect.
Yes. Make it happen. What's the best battle you ever did?
The best battle I think I ever did, man, I have to say against K-Mel. Me and K-Mel. I always tell people, K-Mel is the reason why I made up a lot of them crazy flips that you see me, that I was doing, because I was like, okay, just like I just said, K-Mel had this flipping style that nobody else was doing. So I had to figure out how to beat his flipping style. So the best way to do that is I had to go watch Kung Fu movies. And my favorite Kung Fu movie I used to watch was Jackie Chan. I learned a lot of my flips. I took a lot of flips and stuff from Jackie Chan when he was doing Drunken Master. And I just brought it into the B-boy game just to beat K-Mel's flips. And by doing that, he helped me create a different way of doing flips in the way that I was breaking.
That's another thing that you don't see too often these days, that you study your enemy and you work on it so that you can beat him or her after like 6 months. Same with me when I battled Rockstride. I studied his freestyles, like the way that he does his freeze framing and all of that. And I had to include more freezes into the way that I move. So I developed some stacking stuff that I could deliver to him. Of course, I can't beat him with his style, but at the same time, spice of this and then some ill footwork on top. So maybe that adds up.
And that's what a lot of B-boys don't do anymore. Everybody's on the newest trend, the air flares. I mean, when the air flares came out, everybody got on the air, the air flares. Now they're doing triple air flares. And it's like, wait a minute, it's cool to learn the air flares, but don't forget about who you are. I've seen so many B-boys have so many good, incredible styles, and then all of a sudden they see something else new, and then they forget about who they are. Don't never forget about who you are. Always just add to it. And that's the one thing I love about our generation. We always add to ours. Like Rockslide made you a better B-boy. K-Mel made me a better B-boy because I had to figure out how to beat him. And by that, he started creating different styles of way of me doing things. And that made me just get better and better and better every time.
Can you tell the people about how did that battle go then? You trained your flip styles and you already had your foundation. How did that battle go?
Well, I know when we battled, like K-Mel will always say something different. I love him. Sometimes he would beat me. Sometimes I would beat him. He would never say that I would beat him, and that's all good and dandy. But I know that he couldn't. You got to remember, when I started dancing because I didn't want to get bullied. I never wanted to be the best. Ever wanted to be the best. That was never in my mind. But the main thing is you never going to bully me in a circle. And when K-Mel realized that he couldn't bully me, that's all I really needed. I didn't really care if I beat K-Mel in a circle. That was never my intention to battle him. My intention was he was never going to bully me. And he's going to make sure if he's going to battle me, he's going to know that he's in a world of like, we are going to sweat. We're going to have oxygen tanks because I am not giving up. And I am not giving up at all.
It's not going to be an easy ride.
It's
not going to be an easy ride going against FLOMASTER.
At all. But it was never, and I really want people to understand, it was never me trying to be the best. It was all about me. You're not going to bully me. And that's it.
That's so dope. When did your training change? into incorporating something else than just dance? How
Well,
did that happen?
when I started locking, when I gave up breaking for a while and I got into locking, because you got to look at my old videotapes when I first started. I wasn't dancing, and I wasn't, to me, I wasn't as funky as I wanted to be. But breaking got to the point where it was taking the love away from me. Everybody wanted to fight. Everybody saying you biting this, and like I'm like, how am I biting your stuff and I don't even know you? And you weigh in Japan, you weigh in Hong Kong somewhere. Like, how am I biting your stuff? So it just kind of got a lot of, really got into my mind. So locking was the next thing that I wanted to do. And now that is my number one dance that I love to do. But locking helped me to be funky. Locking helped me to bring my character out more and my b-boy battles and stuff, how I will always smack. I would end up smacking somebody and I had the teeth that would fall on the floor and start chat, 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 chat. That's all from adding and locking in. If you watch how my top rock was, when I was stiff too, it started bouncing. So locking really changed my hip hop, my breaking style up a lot. And then I got into house. Now house really made me listen to the music because I wasn't listening to the music. So when I got into house, it made me listen to the music. When I got into locking, it made me funky. So actually by doing a different dance style, it really made my dancing better when I came back to breaking.
That's inspiring, and a lot of people don't do it. I can tell it too. I break too much and I don't pay enough attention to the other styles, even though there's a dance school that I run and all the classes will be free. So that's inspiring, man. Would you recommend it for the generation coming up now?
Everybody. I would always tell people to learn different styles of dance because it will help you in your main style. I did not become FLOMASTER because you got to remember, when I first started, I was copying Ken Swift. I was trying to look like Ken Swift. I was walking like Ken Swift. I was dressing like Ken Swift. And everybody was like, Flo look like Ken Swift. And I didn't really get the props until I veered away from breaking, got into locking. And that's when I came back. And that's when I became FLOMASTER. Because I was FLOMASTER, but I wasn't getting love like I was supposed to until I got away from breaking and started learning different other styles. When I came back, that's when I started being who I am. So I really tell people, learn different styles, learn house, learn locking, even salsa. I mean, it just makes you relax. It makes you smooth. It makes you listen to the music because breakers are always stiff, so stiff. I always say to breakers, if you can't dance with a girl, you got some issues.
Mm-hmm. And that process turns you into a dancer instead of just a b-boy or
a b-boy. That's why when somebody say, are you a breaker? Are you a locker? Are you a house dancer? And I said, I'm not neither of them. I'm a dancer. You put the music on, I'm going to dance. But back in the days, I would say, yeah, I'm a breaker. Oh, yeah, I'm a locker. No, I'm a dancer.
Nice. How about other training? You have a extensive, we would always actually hear rumors about your training methods. We would hear from Wicked, we would hear from everybody else. We came to Cali and everybody's saying like FLOMASTER's on another tip when it comes to training. Like you got to do your footwork with water in your mouth so you learn to breathe from your nose or whatever it is. So I was putting pain in my students with the so-called FLOMASTER methods that we just heard from other people. Mm-hmm. How did this happen? Like, how did you get incorporating like other ways of training into getting your stamina and strength to another level?
Well, besides doing dancing, I do MMA. So I've been with some of the best MMA people in the world, like Jeremy Horn, which is the militaries with Matt Hughes and all them. And then my teacher, Anderson the Spider Silver. So I watch how they train and watch how they get ready for these fights. Because remember, they go 5 rounds with someone trying to take your head off. But watching the way that they train, I was like, I can take that and put that into breaking. I can start doing foundation and add exercise into breaking. I can do mobility and flexibility and add it into breaking. And that's how I started training all the top B-boys, and I called it combat conditioning at the time. But this is the thing that I messed up on and I didn't know is the recovery aspect of it. Because if you train like that hard, like, as B-boys, we like to go 5 or 6 or 7 days a week. That's really bad for your body. And that's what I was doing. And everybody who was doing my type of training, a lot of them was getting hurt. Because why? Because they was really messing their body up. I was getting hurt left and right. And then my crew members started getting hurt left and right. So I had to back and be like, okay, what are these trainers doing that I'm not doing? And the number one thing is recovery.
True. I feel you. That happened to me too with one of my classes. Me and Hat Solo used to run a class called Break Hardcore. The main idea was that there was an audition for the toughest motherfuckers in the city. And whoever trained the hardest was the king. And we had a bucket. We called it the George. And we counted minutes on how many minutes does it take for the first one to throw up. And that was just stupid. Like everybody got hurt and eventually these people disappeared from the scene. Just wasn't fun and it was destroying their bodies. So we had to look in the mirror like, all right, are we really doing what we're supposed to be doing? Are we training them to be better or just boosting our ego with thinking that we train harder than everybody else?
Boosting the ego. You remember that type of training that we do came from the Navy SEALs and the Army people because they are trained like that. But what happens to them later on in the future? They barely can walk, hip replacement. Some of them commit suicide because when you train hard, you're also messing with your mind and you get depressed. You get depressed really hard and you're like, why am I so depressed? Because you're not letting your body recover. And this is something that I really wish that I would have known when I was breaking hard, because I really feel by me being 50, like I'm about to turn 50, I feel that I'm still capable of still being going against some of the top guys, but I destroyed my knees so much. But now it's my duty now with everything I know to educate the new generation that it's not about going hard. It's about recovery. It's not about train to win. It's recovery to win. Because when you're out there battling somebody, who is the one that wins? Is the one who can battle, go back and recover and come back. The one who can set and relax and come back and still have all the energy. So the one who normally wins is the one who recovers the more than the one who got the best skills.
Yes. Like at the top, everybody trains hard, but whoever recovers the best and the fastest, then it's going to be on another level.
Is the one who stays on top for a long time. And this is what I want the new generation to understand, because the old generation, we did not at all.
How's your training these days?
My training now is basically on mobility, flexibility, and strength work. Like I really back down on a lot of cardio, because as you get older, you got to understand too much cardio kills your testosterone. And as men, we need our testosterone. So if we do too much cardio, our testosterone goes down. But when we do resistance or lifting weights, our testosterone goes up. So now I'm doing more lifting weights because I don't have to break like that anymore. I feel my time is done. I did everything I was supposed to do in the late 90s and the early 2000s. My ship is done. I'm off that ship. I got nothing to prove.
You pay your dues. Yeah.
Yes, I pay my dues. I got no more ego. Somebody want to call me out? Cool. You beat me? Okay. More power to you. I just, so my thing now is just to be healthy and, and just stay healthy so I can be around for my kids and my daughter and all that.
Do you do sprints or heat, or is it just straight resistance training?
Well, remember, so from breaking, I always used to say breaking destroyed my knees, but breaking didn't destroy my knees. I destroyed my knees by over pushing myself. So I can't do a lot of sprints. I can sprint uphill, but like this, I can't. So my number one thing is swimming. I love doing lap swim underneath the water for 35 minutes. I come up and try to see how many laps I can do in 35 minutes. Because to me, that's incredible because you're training without oxygen. So now you got to learn how to go back and forth and control your breath and recover your breath and keep doing it. So swimming is my main cardio now for dancing.
Yeah. Uphill sprints, I love them and I hate them. They're terrible and they're the best. Like it's raining and it's windy and you go uphill sprinting. It's like sucks the best, like the sucks the most in your life. But if you got through it, then the rest of the day is amazing, right?
Because it strengthens up your legs. And you got to remember your legs is where the most oxygen has to go to. So when you dance, what is the first thing that dies? Is your legs. So if you strengthen up your legs, and that's why I love running up the hill, then you can last longer in a b-boy circle.
Yeah, it's gentle for the knees too. You don't get that impact.
And gentle for knees that you're not getting that pounding.
Yeah. Did you ever try aqua running?
What is it? Oh, you mean aqua running, when you're in that treadmill and it raises you up? Or what's that?
No, I mean, you get like a floating belt, but you go into the pool. You go jogging or running, but you are not touching the bottom.
Yeah, it's called deep end. Yeah, we do that on the deep end when we sit there and we run as quick as we can, or we open and close. We do the march. Yeah.
I also hate it, but that's the best therapy for your joints and for your body in general. Anything that hurts gets fixed in water.
100%. Water is my new gym now.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
yeah.
How about coaching? Teaching versus coaching. Been teaching for a long time too, and recent times moving in the breaking world towards coaching as well. How do you find coaching breakers? How's it been?
One thing that I noticed about coaching breaking, you got to be really careful, because you got to remember, breaking, known as hip hop, is one of the most ego dance that you can ever do, and everybody think they know everything. So for number one thing, before you can coach anybody, you got to get their trust. You got to get them to let them know that you're there for them and not for you, because there's a lot of breakers that's out there just for them and they're not for the athletes, and I've seen it so many times. So first you got to get their trust. Once you get their trust, you got to let them kind of dictate of what they're trying to get better at, and you just be on the side to help them move along. But if you come in there and you don't got that trust, and you say, this is what you need to do, you need to do this, they're gone. You have lost them. So, because remember, breaking never had no coaches. We really never had no coaches. Like, yes, I probably coached a couple people, but really coach and have a structure the way it is now, because they're going to the Olympics. We never had that. So we got to build that coaching way of teaching in a most cocky dance that ever been out there, where everybody think they know everything. And the only way that you can do that is you got to get their trust, man. You got to get their trust. And then you got to let them know that you're there for them, and you help them tell you what they need. And you be on the line like, okay, I like that. So maybe we try like this, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be really careful when it comes to breaking and coaching people, because you can lose them very fast.
Yeah. Mentorship was always there. Like, you take somebody under your wing and coach somebody or mentor somebody to become dope. But like recent changes, when you have a national team and a head coach and all of this, that's a kind of a new thing for breaking, and it takes time to adjust into it.
100%. And we just got to be patient, because it's not gonna go like that. Like, it takes a minute. This is new. Breaking, hip hop never had structure. We never had structure. No one never taught us how to warm up. No one told us how to strengthen up our body. No one tells us how to breathe. No one tells us how to warm down or how to warm up. We never had that. And now all of a sudden we're trying to do that now. Yeah. It's going to be kind of rough. Right?
I wish I had that coming up. Like, you had a physiotherapist and a doctor and an experienced breaker telling you like, all right, this might be a better way to handle things and all of that. We came up the hard way, banging our bodies on the floor, and
but
that's it.
With that being said, we paved the way for people now to know how to take care of their body. Like, I look at it, because I get down on myself. I'm like, why didn't I take care of myself? Why didn't I stop? Why didn't I recover? But I'm like, now, Flo, you can go back in the past, because what's done is done. But now you can educate these new generation on how to take care of themselves. You can teach any B-boy, any B-girl, doesn't even have to be breaking, just dancing in general. You can educate them, which I have been doing as far as the hip hop world and the lock-in in the house. Like, I've been educating so many people, and that makes me feel alive, because I was depressed for a minute. Like, damn, I can't dance. But now I'm educating other people so they don't make the mistakes that I made. That made me feel so much better. But I had to go through that. Like, I always say, if I know now, would I be still the person I am now? I'm like, I wouldn't. I had to go through this to be the person I am right now.
Yeah, and giving makes you happy. So if you're in a place where you can share and help other people, then simply improves your happiness as well. So it's a blessed situation to be at, 100%, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
2023, what's in store for you?
2023 is getting these B-boys and B-girls to go against y'all and everybody around the world and bring that gold home, man. Just my thing now is we have only 2 B-boys and only 2 B-girls that's gonna go to the Olympics. So my goal is to make these gentlemen and ladies pursue their dream now, man. That's my focus, being a dad, raising my son, helping my daughter, That's it for 2023, man. And me staying healthy.
Big shoes to fill.
It is.
Important
It is.
shoes
But you
as
know
well.
what? I'm ready for it. And I'm pretty sure you're ready for it too, because you got a lot of shoes to fill too, because you got a whole people that's counting on you as well.
Let's make it happen, man. It's going to be a big year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all I had for today. So inspiring talk, man. I'm getting goosebumps, and hopefully
Stop.
a lot of people
No, that's
watch
from
and
that
hear
sweat.
this. So
That's from all that sweat.
that's what's up. Yeah, I'll catch you on tour somewhere, whether it's in the States or in Paris or in Finland. Who knows? Hope you get to travel as well, and we meet up somewhere. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All the best. Blessings your ways for the year. Thanks for tuning into the Knowledge Drop, y'all. I hope you find it valuable and inspiring. Now head out to bboydojo.com for our free video training and a bunch of other ill content. I'll see you over there, y'all. Peace.